guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new to my channel, make sure you subscribe, give me a thumbs up, drop your comments down below. In today's video, I'm going to show you guys how to make a long pencil skirt. So this is it. I have cut out the full length that I will be needing for this tutorial. So the next thing for me is to start marking out the body length, and the body length that I need for the skirt part is a waist to hip, waist to knee, the full length, the round waist, the round hip, and that's all. So from here, her waist to hip is 10, so I'm going to mark 10. It's going to have front and back panel together. So after marking out 10, her waist to knee is 21 and half. So I'm marking out 21 and half for her knee length. 21 and half. 21 and half. So I'm going to connect the lines. So this is her waist, hip, knee, and then full length. So the next thing for me now is to start marking out the round bodies. And for the skirt part, I'm going to divide her waistline by 4. Her round waist is 30. 30 divided by 4 will give me 7.5. 7.5 plus 1, because of that, will give me 8.5. So I'm going to mark out 8.5 here. So I will use 4 inches for her dart. And once I mark out 4 inches, I will go ½ inch on left side and ½ inch on right side. So the length that I'm working with for her dart will be 4 and half. So I'll also measure 4 inches on that 4 and half. So I'm going to extend the dart length and then connect the dart legs. So her hip is 41. 41 divided by 4 will give me 10.25. So I'm going to mark out 10.25 on her hip line. Her hip is 41, so I'm going to mark out 10.25, which is here. So her knee, because it's a pencil skirt, this 10.25 minus 1 will give me 9.25. So I'm going to mark 9.25. like so. So because I don't want it to be too penciled, I'm going to mark out on the full length again 9.25, the exact thing that I use for her round knee. 9.25. So I'm going to connect the lines. So this is how her lower body measurements looks like. So I'm going to use my hip curve to blend out the hip line. So for me, I'm going to come in by ½ inch from the actual round knee measurement. I'm going to drag the back. Since the back is going to have zipper and also slit, remember that her largest body measurement is her hip, which is 10.25. So I'm going to cross check if I have enough. 10.25, that's 11.25. So I have at least 2.5 inches remaining. So I'm going to come in by 2 inches. So I will go in by 2 inches from this side. Since I have connected my 2 inches line, I will start from 2 inches to start placing my measurements. Remember that her hip is 10.25, so I'm going to place my 10.25 and then mark it out. And I will mark. Then her waist is 7.5 plus that, which will give me 8.5. So I'm going to place my tape and mark out 8.5. Then I'm going to also place my tape for that measurement. So I'm using 4, and the length I'm using 5 at the back. Remember the front I used the 4.5. So I'm going to mark out a 1/2 inch on both sides, and I will mark out 4 again on that side. Then I will connect the lines like so. So after connecting the lines, I have marked out her back hip measurement. So her knee, remember I used 9.5. So I'm going to use 9.5 again on her knee measurement. So I'm going to use 9.5 here at the down part also. So after marking out 9.5, I'm going to remove 1/2 inch, which will give me 9 exactly. So I'm going to connect. So I'm going to connect this like so. So this depends on how penciled you want your pencil skirt to be. So I'm going to connect to the waistline. And I'm going to blend out. So once I blend it out, because I want this to be a contoured skirt, so on her knee line, I'm going to come in by 1 inch. So I'm going to connect it back to the hip line. Here will now be my slit. Here will be my slit. So for the down part, I'm also going to blend it out. So all this depends on how you use your ruler, how you use your rule curve to blend out. So I'm going to use to blend it out. So I have blended out our back side. So this is what it will look like after blending it out. So this is it. You can see here how it looks like. So for the zipper, because it's going to have a zipper, I'm going to add half. I'm going to add 1 inch to this. I'm going to add zipper, which will give me 1 inch, which will also give me 1 inch, and which will also give me 1 inch. So I'm going to repeat the same process that I did here for the zipper. So I'm going to blend, just blend it out. Okay, since I have added my zipper measurement and everything is in place, if I'm sewing, I'm going to sew here. Remember, there is no seam allowance except zip allowance. There is no seam allowance on this. So I'm going to label. So when cutting, I'm going to fold the down part. So this is how the pencil skate is looking. This is the back panel. You can see the zip allowance, you can see the contour. Then this is her front panel. So I think I'm good to go. I don't need anything, so I'm going to trim off here. I'm going to add the necessary seam allowances that I need. So up here I need 0.5 inch, 0.5 inch. So here I need 2 inches. So here I didn't need, okay, this side I need 2 inches also. So I don't think I need any other seam allowances that I will add to this. So guys, if you take a close look at my pattern, I have folded it on the fabric. So the next thing for me to do is to cut it out, and also I have added my seam allowances. You can see I have added my side seams, I have added my seam allowance for joining the upper and the down part. So I think we are good to go right now. So I'm going to cut it out, then use the knee measurement to cut out the lining, and we are good to go. So right now I have folded my fabric into two. The length I'm working with is 7 inches, while her waist is 30. So I'm going to divide 30 by 6.28. 30 divided by 6.28, which will give me 4.7. So I'm going to add this 4.7 plus my 7 inches, which will give me 11.7, so approximately 12. So since it's approximately 12, I'm going to measure here. 12 plus 1 will give me 13. So I'm going to add 13 inch. I'm going to measure out 13 inches, or I'm going to fold 13 inches. So here is my 13. I'm going to fold this like so, and I'm going to turn or flip it out and then fold again. So this second part that I'm folding, I'll make sure that everything laps very well, and I'm going to measure out 13 inches again. So here is more than 13 and it's perfect. So here is 13 and it's perfect. So since I have this, let me face this the way you will see it very well. My fabric is now folded into 4. So I'm going to measure out the circumference of the circle, how I got the circumference is, remember I said her waist is 30. 30 divided by 6.28 will give me 4.7. I put my tape at the extreme here and I mark out 4.7 here. So I'm going to hold this edge and then start rotating my tape to mark out 4.7. So after, I'm going to connect the lines like so. So this is my radius. So after, I'm going to mark out my peplum length. So the length that I'm working with is 7. So I'm going to add, once I mark out 7 here, I'm going to place my tape. Let me mark 7 very well. I'm going to place my tape at this extreme to get the total length, which is 12. So I'm going to use this 12 to get the roundness of the circle. So 12 inches. So I'm going to use 12 to get the full length. So here is 12, here is 12. So I'm going to rotate. Here is 12, here is 12. So since I have gotten the roundness, I'm going to add 1 inch to this. So I'll be adding 1 inch to all this. So since I have added 1 inch, you can see that I didn't waste any fabric on this. So I'm going to start cutting it out. So this is how it looks like. I'm going to start cutting it out, then design it the way I want. So I'm going to remove this. So this is what I'm working with. So I'm going to add 1/2 inch on top of this place on the upper part. This will serve as my seam allowance. So I'm also going to trim it out. So once I trim it out, this is what we have here. Can you see what we have here? So let me mark out the wrong side. So this is what we have, the second circle. So this is the last. So that's how to cut your 360 circular flay.